Hi. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day today. Thanks for checking in, you guys. Always appreciate anybody and everybody checking in when I do a video. Also, I haven't asked for a long time, but if you enjoy my videos, I would really appreciate it if you would take a moment and subscribe. And that's just that little red button right there. I was trying to get it right there, I think. And if that little bell pops up, that just means you're going to get an email every time I put out a video, and that is totally at YouTube's discretion. I've had quite a few of my friends say, I never get an email. And there's a whole math thing behind all of that YouTube uses. It doesn't mean everybody is just going to get an email just because you did the bell. But if you click it, you may get notifications. So that'd be awesome. And then if you like the video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And that way I know people are enjoying my content, or aren't they? And then of course, if you have any input, you want to mention something or just check in and say hi, please do so in the comments below. Okay, back in January, I did a video of me doing Ancestry DNA. It was a Christmas gift from my son. And I was quite excited to do it because I have a sort of a very interesting family history with lots of skeletons in the closet. And I thought, well, this will be kind of fun. Who knows what this is going to bring out? Yeah, it was okay. You know what? I mean, I did have a couple of surprises that I had no idea. And I had a couple of things I was really disappointed in as well, which I'm going to share with you. And I think I said this, but I'm going to just let you know one more time that the video I did back in January, I'm going to put at the very end of the video. I'll just a link, and then you can go and check it out. And it was kind of a fun video to do. Would I recommend for you to do this? You know what? I think maybe three things come into play. If you are looking for a family member, a loved one, if you've been adopted, or any one of those things that we've seen them on TV where they try to find, you know, a living relative or a biological mother or a father. I think that's awesome. Use whatever tools are available to you. This was fun. It didn't do it for fun. And, you know, I've heard people say, oh, my sisters and I are going to do it. Well, that's fine, but just remember, you could get a big surprise, something you are maybe not prepared for. So be aware, it could uncover something you may not want to know, or you may not want to share with the rest of the world. So keep that in mind. I have always been my story and my understanding. In fact, we're even going to go as far as that I have a relative that lives just outside of Barcelona, and I'm Spanish in me, blue Spanish eyes. That's me. Well, guess what? There is absolutely no Spanish in my background whatsoever. I was so disappointed. I mean, to me, that was the spice in me. That was the get up and go. Like, yeah, of course you'd want that little bit of that Mediterranean blood. Absolutely. I'm crushed. Okay, so then, funny enough, my oldest sister, who really actually is my aunt, but my grandmother passed when she was a teenager, and so she came to live with us. So we grew up as sisters. So I always refer to her as my sister, and I just love her dearly. And but about 3 years ago, we're sitting here, and she lives in Holland, and she was here, and we're having a bottle of wine, and she says, you know, when this whole DNA thing came up or whatever, which we touch on every now and then, and she says, you know, she says, I don't think it's Spanish. I was, what? What do you mean? I said, no, when I went to see Oma and, you know, family, blah, blah, blah. She says, no, she says, you know what? She says, I think it's Indonesian. I went, okay, well, I can settle for that too. I mean, we're away from the Mediterranean, but okay. So there was never any definite answers. So this was, I must say, of some interest to me because I thought it was going to spell it all out for me. Well, one of the most important things to remember is it does say on here, ethnicity estimate, okay? You could have something in your background so far back that it's just, you know, it's the old thing, gets all watered down and it just kind of disappears. So that apparently can happen as well. And I'm certainly no pro at this. And I am going to put the map, like the DNA map, I'll put it at the very end. Why do I keep doing that? I'll put it at the very end and you can have a look at it. Okay. So I was born in Holland, you know, all right, we got that. Now get this. I am 50% Northwestern Europe. Okay, no surprise. That would include the Netherlands. But this particular 50% is Wales and England. So I'm 50% Northwestern Europe, Wales and England. That's when you are looking at this little map that they sent me, that's the yellow part. 50%. I went, wow. So then I'm also, you guys, I am almost a purebred. Well, not really. So then I am Germanic Europe. So that encompasses Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. So that's in there. So that's okay. That's kind of interesting. I mean, those countries all pretty close. I mean, pretty easy to cross the border and, you know, hang out with somebody for a while. So that was 48%. So there's 2%. So all I can hope for is that it's Spanish, right? Or something. No, it's Swedish. So now my children, I have just upped their Scandinavian DNA pool because their dad is a Finn Swede, and so they're half or 50% of their DNA should be Swedish, Finnish, Norwegian, Danish in there, I would imagine. So anyway, 2%. So this is nothing. There was no doubt about the Dutch part because you think, well, you're born in a country, you got to have some of that. Anyway, so this was quite interesting. I was quite disappointed that I didn't get what I was hoping for. I found it very interesting because, I mean, it's kind of a family story, or story that I heard anyway. But anyhow, yeah, so there it is. So now I know a little bit more, and at the end I know a little less. So it kind of made it complicated. Then the other thing they send you, and there's a whole bunch of these. This one goes from the early history, they give it, and then they actually show you what the movement was of your DNA pool. And so mine starts in 1700s. I thought mine went back to 15, but maybe, that's weird that it just says 1700 here. 1700 to 1725 is when the Germany to Midwestern, moved to the Midwestern United States. I don't really get all of that, but there's movement going on. We did a fair amount of migration into the U.S. back in the 17th century. And so that's kind of interesting because it shows you when it stops, and it shows you when it increases and so forth. So that probably accounts for the fact that I have just a whole bunch of fourth and fifth cousins. And a lot of them are on the eastern U.S. coast, and now I've even find some over here on the western coast of the U.S., and really not anybody all that much that I could see in Canada, except, well, there was a fellow that actually called me from Kelowna, but we couldn't quite make the connection. And I think actually what would really work with Ancestry DNA, if you had a family member or somebody in the family that wanted to do that whole family tree thing, so you can actually see who is hooking up with who, and who married who, and who was having babies with who. That to me would be something that could really give you a true history of, where everybody came from, where they were going, and how you're all actually connected. This was fun. I enjoyed it. I was a little disappointed, but I'm okay. Yeah, it is what it is. Nobody's going to change it now, but yeah, I really would have liked to have had a little bit of that Spanish. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe I need to do it again. Maybe I'll go that 23andMe. And actually, I've heard that one's better. So who knows? Anyway, I put it out there. Johnny G. I did it. It's because John called me on my birthday last Tuesday, and he actually asked me about this because he's thinking of doing it. So you rattled my chain. And so, John, there you got it. If I didn't explain it well enough over the phone, now you can see it on my YouTube. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.